Hello everyone. Today we'll be doing a knife review on the Spyderco Chinese folder. Very cool blade, as you can see. One of my favorites. Okay. Give you guys a close look at it. Okay. This knife was designed by Bob Lum, and you can see his trademark emblem on the back of the blade. Okay. Now, first, let me give you some quick specs. The overall length of the knife is 7 3/16, and that's of course open. Closed, it's gonna be 4 1/4 inches. Okay. The cutting blade itself, it's pretty small, 2 7/8. That's usually pretty common in a lot of Spyderco blades. They make it just barely under 3 inches for a lot of the states out there that require, you know, a 3-inch or smaller blade to carry. The blade thickness, extremely thin blade, cuts awesome. Thickness of the blade is 1/8, okay, and it's full flat ground. Okay, so basically it's 1/8 at the top of the blade, but it's a very sharp blade. All right. Cuts awesome. It's pretty lightweight too, 2.6 ounces. For me, I consider that a very light blade. This is what I would call another EDC blade, which means everyday carry knife. Okay. It's, you know, good for emergency use, or, you know, a nice little piece of tactical gear to have for you military guys out there. Now, the steel, I already said that it was thin, but it's also VG10 steel. It's very good steel, very solid. It has a black kind of coating on it to protect the finish from it. Now, I do have to say I've used this knife not much, and it already looks like it's starting to get slightly faded on the black part of the blade. I don't know if you can tell right in this part right there. See that glare right there? So I can't really say how well it's gonna hold up, but only time will tell. The handle itself, it's just an aluminum handle, you know, aluminum basic. The color, it's brushed kind of olive green color. It's just another, you know, basic part. It's a basic handle. Now, on the negative side, the handle doesn't really have a lot of pros on the ergonomic side of it. You know, it doesn't really have a thumb ramp on it. It doesn't really have any jimping either. You know, usually they'll put some jimping here for some, you know, some traction of the blade, or some, you know, jimping up here on the blade. They didn't really do that with this knife, and I don't know why they didn't, because it would have made the knife a lot better. So the knife, it's pretty slick, especially with gloves. And you know, it's like I already said, the ergonomics are not the best. Still, it's fits pretty comfortably in your hand, and that's thanks to the curvature that it has throughout the blade. And the reason for that is Bob Lum designed this knife like a Chinese leaf, and if you've ever seen a Chinese leaf, it's kind of a thin curved leaf, and it kind of does look like it if you've ever seen one. So a lot of guys will, you know, talk bad about this knife just because the ergonomics are not really there, and this and that, but personally I like the knife. It's what I would call more of a dress knife, but it's pretty cool looking, and I like it. It cuts awesome, like I already said, and it's a nice looking blade. The clip is something that I like a lot about it also. The clip, first of all, is blackened, okay, which is awesome also for concealed carry. If you know, you don't want people to know you're carrying a blade, you definitely have to go with a black clip, okay, because the silver one is just gonna, or the metal looking one, polished or unpolished, it's gonna give you, you know, some type of glare, you know, and you know, people are gonna be able to tell that you have a knife in your pocket, and you may not want them to know. So the clip design is also cool because it's mounted kind of on the end of the handle instead of all the way in the middle like some blades have it. And that's also good because you're not going to have a big portion of the back of the handle protruding out of your pocket either. So I think all that sticks out of your pocket is basically about that much up. So, and that's not bad. That's pretty good. Now Spyderco, as you guys know, make awesome folding blades. They make pretty nice fixed blades also, but I especially like their folders. The warranties are very good. If you ever have a problem with any other knives, you can send it back, and the Glesser family is pretty nice about it, and they'll make sure they replace your knife. And if it looks like it's been abused, they may want to charge you something for it, but it'll probably just be about 25 bucks or so. At least it's been that way in my experiences. Besides that, I don't know what else I have for you, but overall, like I already said, the knife is pretty nice. It's a good addition to anyone's collection. It's, as you can see, it's pretty small, but it'll do the job. And I guess that's it for this review. Just wanted to show you guys this knife, and if you don't have one, it may be wise to go buy one now before they run out. These knives are not easy to find nowadays. You may look and find maybe one or two on eBay or at stores, but most of them are sold out. This was a sprint run that Spyderco does. Spyderco does a lot of sprint runs, which means they only have a limited quantity. They only produce a limited quantity of these knives, so it's sometimes not that easy to find one of these knives. Now if you do find one of them, the price range for this blade is anywhere from, let's say, 90 bucks to 200 bucks. Now this one that you see here, it's gonna run you, the one that's with VG10 steel, because they also make the blade in ZDP 189 steel, which if they have that one, you may want to get that one. The only problem with that is you're gonna have, of course, the shine of the blade, and it depends if you want that or not. So this knife will run you about maybe 110, 120 bucks, which is pretty cool. And you could probably find it for less if you do your research. And the ZDP 189 steel blade, it's probably gonna run you about $200. So it's not a cheap knife, but it's well worth the money. It's a high value knife. Okay, so that concludes my review. Hope you guys liked it, and have a good day.